Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading an Arlecchino Listener by me. So let's get into it. Running an orphanage meant seeing people from all different backgrounds. However, most were awful ones. She had to admit, a lot of it reminded her of her own childhood, one she would rather forget. And right now she was faced with a situation that she had no idea how to deal with. There was still a time where answers to such situations were simple, either to deal with it in a diplomatic manner and make things work in her favor, or just use force. But with you, the second option was not really that appropriate. However, the first one, she had no idea how to even get there. How would she get you to tell something that you just didn't want to say at all? She knew something was wrong with you and your family, and it was fine. She was not judging you for it. She simply wanted to know the truth. And if there was anything wrong, she wanted to at least be able to help you. In her opinion, it was the least that she could do to make sure that you're fine, to know more about you. Right now, you needed her, and she was not going to leave you behind, even if you just made her way a lot more difficult with the fact that you were unwilling to share a lot of things. And Arlecchino had to investigate a lot on her own, just to know little tidbits of information. It may not be that ethical, but she did not care about ethics. You mattered more to her than any of those things. You were important, and she was not going to care about the ethics of things. Not when you could be in danger, not when you needed her right this very moment, and still refused to ask for help. She was going to get you that help whether you actually admitted you needed it or not. And eventually, she was able to find a couple of things. And that's how she knew a lot of the things that she would need to be able to pressure you into telling her everything. And that is how, in the end, you're sitting right here before her, frowning. Arlecchino, I know you're just saying this because you care, but I really don't want to talk about it. But you have to tell me. Do you understand what's truly going on here? You are endangering yourself, and I am trying to protect you. And yet you seem to constantly try to hold me back, to stay away from me. So tell me, Mayan, is it true you don't want me around? Or are you just hiding something so horrible that when I find out about it, things will go awry? Maybe that's what you're worried about. I wouldn't blame you. But if you explain yourself, I'm sure I can try to listen. Arlecchino sighed, and you couldn't help but feel frustrated, not really knowing exactly what to say. Nothing seemed quite correct in this position, but he knew eventually something would have to be done. And right now you had to tell her something. You couldn't just leave her in the dark constantly. And that's why you took a deep breath and nodded. Fine, I'll tell you, but promise me not to do anything reckless. For my sake as well as yours. I'm not sure it would be for my sake, but for yours, I will try. I promise. She says, but she seems better about that promise. However, it was the only way that you could trust her. She never really breaks her promises. So right now, as you told her about everything relating to your mom, and just how awful she was with you, she stared at the floor, her gaze seemingly intense, in a way you've never seen before. It was different and strange, but definitely something that made you feel a little bit more nervous. You didn't know what to say, but you were not really sure how Arlecchino was going to respond to all of this. And that scared you more than anything. So, Before you say a word, just know that she's my mother, and there's nothing I can do about it. I just hope she will be okay later, that she won't hurt me as much. But you know that I have no choice, and I don't want to truly hurt her either. It's too complex for all of that. You whisper, and she nods, understanding. Fine. I will not do anything reckless. I won't hurt her if that's what you don't want me to do. But there is something that has to be done. If you don't want me to do anything to her, then you must at least try to come with me. I don't want you spending time with that woman. Look at how she's hurting you, Ayan. Truly. Do you want to live like that forever? No, that's not what I said. I'm only saying I can't leave her right now. And I don't know what to do. I don't want to leave her, but I don't want her to keep hurting me. That's all. So it feels pretty much of, an unsolvable thing. I see. Well, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm sure it can be fixed with ease. Fixed? What do you mean? Well, first off, you've got to become stronger to try and defend yourself. And I'm sure a meeting with me will be just fine for her. Truly, I can deal with people like this very easily. You have. There was no way Arlecchino was not meeting her. And you truly couldn't help to delay the inevitable. All you could do right now was to accept your fate and know that there wasn't anything you could do about this. Arlecchino was bound to meet your mother, and your relationship would soon be defined by this. Your mother didn't really care about who you dated, but right now, after this, she may as well try, since Arlecchino was not someone that was easy to get along with, and you knew just how well she would make her point, just so your mother would not hurt you again.